Welcome, guys. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Abby, and I heartily welcome you to the Caribbean and to my container garden here in Trinidad and Tobago. We have a problem, guys. I have identified problem number 2 as regards the pests in my garden, and it is spider mites. Red spider mites. After a lot of research and just looking at the plants, observing the plants, I noticed that they have this kind of mottling of the leaves, like a discoloration of the leaves. Specifically, the cucumbers, which is on the western side of the house, those are the leaves that were super big, and the plant itself generally looks so nice. But just those spotting of the leaves, I thought was the whitefly. But really and truly, I've never dealt with spider mites before. Never dealt with spider mites before. This is the first time in my life I've seen it. I've heard about it, but I've never experienced it. And it explains a lot of the problems that I'm having as well. Along with the trips, it's like a double whammy. It's like being between a rock and a rock. There's no cushion. There's just surrounded by hardships. So when I saw on the cucumber leaf this redness, I said, what is that? So I got my phone and I started researching a red bug on the underside of my leaf. And it had this kind of a thin web-like um, material with it. And right away came up on Google spider mites. And it is quite a destructive little pest. And apparently, it's a pest that thrives in dry and hot. Didn't I not say that in the last video? With the heat in the tropics, we're going to get some jamming, guys. With this heat, the extreme humidity, the extreme dryness, the bugs are gone haywire. They have no control. They knows no boundaries. So, the entire of my cucumber plants is engulfed. All of them is engulfed in these red things. I investigated the melon, and that too is engulfed in a red, and it's really hard to see. You have to like zero in, and of course, guys, I'm visually impaired. Of course, it's gonna take me a minute to like keep adjusting the lenses of my cornea to be able to see these things. And apparently, it is a pest that prefers uh, thin leafed plants. So, what is that? Cucumbers, melons, pumpkins, eggplants, peppers, tomatoes, ivy. That's my entire fence. That's all of the plants that I have. I mean, every single plant that I am growing right now is what they prefer to eat. So you can just imagine the depths of my infestation. So I was spraying only my plants, the house plants, and I wasn't spraying it like in a routine. I would just when I feel like okay, I give up, I spray. But apparently, you have to have a routine for at least a month, 4 weeks of spraying every 7 days, applying either a broad spectrum or a systematic insecticide in order to bring these things under control. All of my plants, guys, all of them are infested with spider mites. All of them. So we've identified it. So, just to teach you guys as well, in case you are having a problem in your garden, and you don't know exactly what it is, it's a possibility. If you've never heard of spider mites, it's a real thing. It's not fiction, it's real. So, first thing you can do that will help you to identify whether your plants have um, spider mites is the browning of the leaves, which I saw on the melon, and that discoloration, that like a whitish, yellowish, light greenish pattern on your leaves, which I saw in the cucumber. It's a very big chance that you um, have spider mites. They're even attacking the flowers, guys. So the Gumfrina, the Cosmos, as well as the Mexican sunflower has spider mites. They all have spider mites on them. So don't think that that's why I was saying in a couple videos back, actually last year when I said the pests are loving the flowers as well. Even the marigolds, I remember them having that whitish, light greenish. So you could pay attention to your flowers as well to see if you see that in your garden and if you recognize it. If you don't want to use the broad spectrum because mine is quite intensive, extensive. If you don't want to use it, you can probably use some elbow grease and use some soap and water and rub all of your plants down routinely to be able to capture the life cycle of this pest. So the spider mite has the eggs, the pupa, the larva, and then the adult. And apparently they're all generations, all different stages that will be um, apparent in your infestation. So that's why we need to do it routinely. You gotta work really hard to get these things out of your garden. I don't know if I will ever completely eradicate it, but I do know that I need to bring down the population a bit, a lot, because it's my entire fence line. That alone is overwhelming me at the moment. If it's not showing on camera, guys, I am completely and utterly overwhelmed to know that these things enjoy ivy. Very, very overwhelming. So, some things that they don't like is they do not like wetness. Where we live here in Trinidad, it's usually very, very moist. We get lots and lots of rain. We don't get cold weather, so we have wetness with heat. When those two together breeds funguses. So we have a lot of fungal issues, bacterial issues in our plants. So of course that may not always be what we want to deal with. We don't want to deal with either the pest or the fungus. Again, a rock and a rock in between, a rock and a rock. A rock and a hard place, guys. So you have to figure that one out. I can't figure that one out for you. I'm trying to figure it out for myself. What I'm going to do in this area. So look out for the distortion of the leaves. Look out for the browning of the leaves. Look out for webbing. So apparently if you see like this spider web kind of thing on your plant, zero in on your leaves and look for those spider mites. If it is hot and it's dry, as it is right now, we had a really uh, dry season, really, really dry. Look out because apparently spider mites thrive in that as well. Uh, how bad is the infestation? Mine is really bad. So I've been trying to use like the blue soap, like my mom said. I did see an improvement when I used the blue soap, but how much do I have to do that? How long? I don't know. So right now I'm in panic mode and I'm opting to continue using the systematic as well as a broad spectrum that immediately kills on contact. So I have to go to the plant store and find something that would immediately kill those adults to stop them from laying any more eggs. And then I would follow up with the systematic. I don't think I don't even know. I have to look at the bottle of my systematic and see if it treats spider mites. I don't know. So when you're buying your insecticide, make sure that if you're dealing with a specific pest, that it says that on the bottle so that you know for sure that when you're treating that, it's gonna tackle that. If not, apparently you can use horticultural soap, dishwasher liquid, water, and alcohol solution. You can also put some neem oil in that solution as well. That is if it's conducive for you. If that's what you want to do, that's also an option. So that's it, guys. That's what I'm dealing with. That's pest number two that I've been able to identify as plaguing my garden at this time. The eggplants, I picked them there because they're mature, but they're very small. What the spider mite does is it has these two tentacles on its head that it pierces the leaf of the plant and it sucks all the juices that's supposed to go to the fruit, the flowers. It sucks and feeds on the plant until it completely dies. So, yep. Now I have explanations as to all the things that I'm dealing with in my garden. I actually have one pepper plant that is with the patch or it came up as a volunteer, and the leaves are looking so healthy. It's because it's protected under that tool. Nothing is getting to it at this moment. So for sure, I know it's not something in the soil, but that it is a pest. Let me zero in on this pepper plant to show you what pest is on this plant. Can you see that? Can you see them crawling all over my pepper plant? Yep. Happy gardening, guys. Happy gardening. Pray for me. And if you have any tips to help me along with this, I would appreciate it. But this is the reality of gardening, especially here in the tropics, because we don't get a break in that life cycle. It's constant warmth. And so at times it's very, very overwhelming. Right now, I'm overwhelmed. But I certainly haven't given up. Um, I'm going to be leaving here soon to go to the plant store with these videos as well to show them exactly what we're dealing with. And hopefully I get something that will help me to combat it and I can come out of this place. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Really, really glad that you spent this time with me. Hopefully it was informative, especially if you're going here in the tropics and you're dealing with something and you don't know exactly what it is in your garden. Spider mites might be an issue. Thrips might be an issue. If I learn of any more in my garden, if I see any more, I will share with you to help you along. So you have two options. You can go the organic route or you can go using the help from the lab, as I say, the insecticides, so that you can continue doing your best and growing in the garden. Take care, guys. See you in the next one. Bye.